Parents, welcome to How to Teach Kids to Write a Friendly Letter. First, start with the writing purpose. It is to keep in touch or share information with your family, friends, and others that you know. Begin by reading the friendly letter example with kids. Dear Grandma, it was so fun when you visited us last weekend. I was so excited when your plane landed. I can hardly wait until summertime so I can visit you. Love, Bobby. Now explain to kids that the letter that was just read has 5 parts. So we're going to look at the 5 parts of a friendly letter. Part 1 is called the heading, and that is where the date is written. Part 2 is called the greeting. It begins the letter and greets the person receiving the letter. Part 3 is called the body of the letter. It is the main part of the letter and the purpose for writing the letter. Part 4 is called the closing. It ends the letter. Part 5 is called the signature, the person writing the letter. Now, with kids, go back to the original letter and read each section. 1. The heading, February 2nd, 2022. 2. The greeting, Dear Grandma. 3. The body. It was so fun when you visited us last weekend. I was so excited when your plane landed. I can hardly wait until summertime so I can visit you. 4. The closing, love. 5. The signature, Bobby. Now review the rules with kids for the 5 parts. Part 1, the heading. The month begins with a capital letter. A comma is used between the day of the month and the year. 2, for the greeting. Begin the greeting with a capital letter and end the greeting with a comma. 3, the body of the letter. Indent the first sentence of each paragraph. 4, the closing. Begin the closing with a capital letter and end the closing with a comma. And 5, the person writing the letter signs their name. Now have kids read the letter and then have them answer the questions. And the answers are February 2nd, 2022. The month is capitalized and there is a comma between the day and the year. Number 2, Dear Grandma. Dear is capitalized. Grandma in this case is considered the name. It is capitalized and there is a comma. What is the letter about? Seeing Grandma, because it talks about her visit to them, the plane landing, and he can't wait to visit her. What is the closing? Love, and it begins with a capital L and ends with a comma. And the last one, Bobby, because he is the person writing the letter. Now to prepare kids to write their own friendly letter, introduce them to the writing a friendly letter outline. Now they are familiar with the friendly letter that Bobby wrote to Grandma, so have them go through each item on the outline and then show where it is in the letter and then check it off. Before kids complete their own friendly letter outline, we're going to have them practice with a few more friendly letter activities. Now have kids place this friendly letter next to the friendly letter outline. to begin the next activity. Begin by having kids identify the first part of the letter, the date. Then have them circle the date and then place an X in the last column showing that they have identified where the date is. Now moving on to part 2, the person receiving the letter and how the person is addressed. Have kids find the greeting and circle it, and then put an X in the columns that it addresses. Moving to the third part, the purpose for writing the letter and the important details included. Have kids place a rectangle around the body of the letter and then mark an X in the columns that it addresses. Next, have kids identify the closing with a purple circle and then the signature with a happy face next to it. For the next activity, we need kids to use a blank writing a friendly letter outline placed next to the letter to Miss Gentry. In this activity, kids need to find the answer. So in the first one, kids are looking for the date, and they're to fill it in February 10th, 2022, and put the X in the next column. And for the person receiving the letter, Miss Gentry, and the greeting, Dear Miss Gentry, and the purpose for writing the letter, school year, and important details included, great teacher, learned a lot, wonderful year. And for the closing, your student, and the signature, Matthew. Now have kids fill out the crossword puzzle using the information found in the friendly letter that is above the crossword puzzle. The letter was written on March 25th, 2021, and it reads, Dear Charlie, I can't wait until you spend the night and meet my new puppy. He is brown, fluffy, and very active. From Corey. One across, the person writing the letter. The answer is Corey. Two across, the month in the heading. The answer is March. Three across, the closing. The answer is from. Four across, the first word in the greeting. It is dear. One down, the person who will receive the letter. The answer is Charlie. Five down, how the puppy was described. The answer is active. In this activity, we have 3 letters, and above each letter are 3 pictures, and we need kids to circle the correct picture that is described in the letter. So for our first letter, we have the choice of 3 pets, a dog, a hamster, or a cat. Have kids circle the pet that Harry is writing about. Begin reading the letter with kids. February 28th, 2022. Hi, Sammy. We have a new pet. So looking at the first column, it says, could it be a pet? Could a dog be a pet? Yes. Could a hamster be a pet? Yes. Could a cat be a pet? Yes. So right now, any of the 3 could be the pet that Harry is writing about. He is cute and brown. And then look at the second column. Is it cute and brown? Yes, the dog is. Yes, the hamster is. Yes, the cat is. The next sentence, he is a fast runner and he especially loves running on his wheel. So there are two things in that sentence. Let's look at the third column. Can it run fast? Yes, a dog can run fast. Yes, a hamster can run fast. And yes, a cat can run fast. And the last column, does it love running on a wheel? A dog does not love running on a wheel. Yes, a hamster does. No, a cat doesn't. So, the pet we are going to circle that Harry is writing about is a hamster. Now have kids read the second letter, and they need to circle the favorite place that Tommy wants to go to. Now have kids read this letter and have them circle the favorite place that Tommy wants to go to. After they answer the first column, the second column, and the third column, they will realize where Tommy wants to go when they read the sentence. We could also ride on the tractor. The swimming pool does not have a tractor. The park does not have a tractor. The farm does have a tractor. And this is a completed example of the last letter. This is how the completed practice page should look. And now it's time to address the envelope to send the letter. To address this envelope, we're going to return back to the letter Bobby wrote to his grandma. Bobby's name and address goes in the upper left-hand corner of the envelope. His grandma's name and address goes in the center of the envelope. And then he places a stamp in the upper right part of the envelope. And now the letter is on its way from Bobby's house to his grandma's house. Now with the writing a friendly letter outline and the writing template, kids can begin writing their own friendly letters. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe. If you have already subscribed, thank you. And as always, I will leave the link for all the teaching templates in the description section.